Hey everyone, we've got an eclipse corridor ahead of us on the Leo-Aquarius axis, which the nodes shifted into at the end of July. That means August brings two eclipses, one on August 12th in Leo and another on August 28th in Pisces. The August 12th eclipse is going to feel like a plunge into slow motion. If you need speed right now, fast decisions, career progress, breakthroughs in your work, some unexpected new solution, get it done before August 12th. Once that Leo eclipse hits, everything shifts. Because it falls on the south node, it creates this real sense of a shock, almost like the whole world suddenly goes quiet and pauses, a kind of stun effect where everything just hangs there for a moment. All right, let's break down how August and this eclipse corridor will play out for each sign. Let's get into it. Hello, Aries. We're heading into an eclipse corridor, and this August's eclipses have a distinctly fiery flavor. The eclipse on August 12th falls in fiery Leo, with Jupiter strongly active in Leo and Saturn strongly emphasized in Aries. All that fire energy, intensity, confidence, willpower gets amplified this month, and both Aries and Sagittarius benefit most from it. Fire signs basically become kings of the room this month. You've got a real shot at tearing the world open. That much energy and confidence, plus the universe itself seems to be pushing you toward powerful roles. It even feels like a return to strength you once had. That's because this eclipse falls on the south node, which is about reactivating and remembering something from the past, an old strength resurfacing and shining again. In practice, the projects, successes, and opportunities showing up around August 12th will likely feel like things you've already lived through, maybe 10 or 20 years ago, maybe in a completely different chapter of your life. When the eclipse wave hits, you'll get a strong sense of déjà vu. I already know the taste of this success. I already understand how this works. I've basically done this before. Because it's a south node eclipse, there's a slightly been there, done that feel to it. Familiar, maybe even a bit routine. But that familiarity is exactly the point. This is where your success shows up. Where the success shows up: 1. Leadership and authority, administrative, government, managerial, or oversight roles. If you're already in one of these fields, expect a solid boost. 2. PR, media, and social platforms. Anything involving promotion, visibility, or building an audience gets a huge tailwind. Popularity is one of the core themes of August, and for Aries, this can spark real inspiration. You'll want to create content, post reels, get in front of people, and the audience will eat it up. It's a genuine match between what you want to put out and what people want to consume. 3. High-end connections. With Jupiter in Leo and the eclipse itself in Leo, you could find yourself pulled toward VIP clients, glamorous and wealthy circles, or people at the top of the food chain, bigger checks, bigger opportunities. This includes potential collaboration with influencers, officials, or people with real institutional power. Even the military, traditionally a Leo-associated sector, may offer good partnership opportunities this month, a chance to rise alongside strong allies. A quick note on eclipses in general. This particular eclipse doesn't fall in your sign, so it's unlikely to completely rewrite your personal story. The main eclipse axis this cycle is Aquarius-Leo, plus Pisces on August 28th. Still, an eclipse corridor is always about something bigger than your individual life. It tends to reshuffle entire organizations, restructured hierarchies, reorganized teams, shakeups in company structure. Expect a lot of movement in career ladders everywhere this month. Some people promoted, some demoted, as if life itself is reshuffling the deck. Given that, don't fight the current. Try to feel which pull is right for you. You'll likely notice 2 or 3 vortexes of opportunity pulling you toward different projects or situations. Some will suck you in easily, others will feel like you're forcing your way into a room that won't open for you. Your job is simply to notice which direction feels alive and lean into it, not to force your way through resistance. Timing matters a lot this month. Until August 10th, your ruling planet Mars is still in energetic, restless Gemini. You're quick, mobile, solving problems on the fly, juggling multiple projects and directions at once. But from August 11th, Mars shifts into Cancer, a much more passive, intuitive, feeling-based sign that goes with the flow rather than forcing it. This lines up almost exactly with the eclipse on August 12th, so the shape of the month looks like this. Before the 12th, you're unstoppable, solo, self-driven, handling everything yourself. After the 12th, that pushy, initiating energy fades a bit. You become more receptive, more intuitive, less about personal effort, more about positioning yourself correctly and trusting the current to carry you toward the right outcome. Intuition becomes the dominant guide for the second half of August. Not brute force, but sensing where to be. One more major shift. With Mars in Cancer for the back half of the month, your focus moves away from career and toward home, family, and the people you love. This lines up with the August 28th eclipse in Pisces, an intensely emotional one, centered on the theme, I have people to take care of. So while the first half of August is about career momentum, the second half is more about surrendering to family, home, and emotional closeness. Letting yourself lean on the people closest to you and actually rest. In short, early August, you're a one-person army. Mid to late August, you're riding the current, trusting your gut, choosing the opportunity that feels right rather than forcing your way in, and turning your attention toward home and the people you love. Hello, Taurus. Let's dig into August, the month of the eclipse corridor, a genuine reality reformatting stretch and one of the pivotal moments of 2026, both for career and personal life. It's also the month that really shows off Jupiter's power in its new sign, Leo. Eclipse corridors are different from, say, a Saturn sign change that mainly affects one or two signs. They tend to grab everyone at once. That's the general theme of any eclipse corridor. Mass, sweeping events capable of shifting anyone's path. For Taurus specifically, this corridor matters a lot because it falls directly across from your sign. The eclipse axis runs through Aquarius and Leo, square to Taurus, which tends to mean these changes aren't easy to slot into smoothly. A square always carries urgency, sudden things to sort out, people to negotiate with fast, a big project that suddenly needs your attention right now. So, expect the word urgent to show up a lot more in your life this August. I'd expect this fast, active, slightly chaotic energy to kick off right around the July 29th full moon in Aquarius. That's when things really start moving. A couple of key shifts to track. Until August 7th, your ruling planet Venus sits in Virgo. So, you're in heavy analysis mode, trying to systematize everything, sort life out like a puzzle to be solved logically. Lots of mental energy, but also a sense of your brain working overtime. Very get it done. Not much room for savoring anything. Everything changes on August 7th when Venus moves into Libra. Your ruler suddenly says, let's just do this beautifully. Venus in Libra is incredibly refined at charming people, creating a pleasant atmosphere, making conversations and interactions genuinely enjoyable. So, where the first week of August feels like solving everything with your head, reports, business, logistics, brain buzzing nonstop, after the 7th, you shift into solving things with feeling, harmony, and unhurried enjoyment. Same tasks, completely different flavor, not grinding it out, but genuinely savoring life. If you've got travel planned this August, the same split applies. Before the 7th, expect a more logistics-driven, checklist mindset. Check into the hotel, tally things up, see the sights, but without much real enjoyment of the process. After the 7th, you actually start enjoying the people and the moments themselves. Late August takes this even further. The eclipse falling in Pisces at month's end brings an intensely emotional, almost childlike energy. Playful, a little unguarded, maybe even overwhelming in how much lighthearted feeling is in the air. Think, let your inner child out. Ideally spent around kids, grandchildren, or someone you love. Since Venus stays in Libra for the rest of the month, that sense of charm, harmony, and enjoying life carries all the way through, just with an extra dose of playfulness tacked on at the very end. On the work front, don't expect total calm right away. With Mercury's retrograde shadow clearing around July 25th, expect a burst of real action and momentum on the job from late July through August 10th. Venus in Virgo is genuinely great at systematic, analytical work, so tackling intellectual challenges during this window can actually feel satisfying rather than draining. One more theme worth flagging. August also brings an eclipse in Leo, symbolizing strength, power, and confidence, and it's especially favorable for fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, who get a serious boost to their standing. You may find yourself dealing more with fire sign people this month, partners, colleagues, romantic interests, and there's real opportunity in aligning with them. That said, because this eclipse falls on the south node, there's a slight been there, done that undertone to it. Fire signs may come across as a little too self-assured, a touch repetitive, like an old familiar story rather than something fresh. If you've got planets in Leo yourself, say Venus in Leo, you might find a genuine pull toward a bright, lion-hearted personality playing out around mid-August fairly easily. The bigger picture, though, is that the second half of August is where you really get to relax and enjoy life, thanks to Venus in Libra. Genuine pleasure, a sense that summer is actually fun again, especially from the 7th onward. That's the overall mood of the month for you. Here comes August, and it might turn out to be a genuinely hot month for Gemini, especially in your love life. This is prime time for romance, relationships, love interests, hookups, all moving fast, one after another. And most of that romantic energy will come wrapped in fire. The August 12th eclipse in Leo brings in a truly striking, larger-than-life Leo-type figure. Someone commanding, dazzling, almost regal, someone who lights up the whole room and gets handed to you in full royal glory. What you do with that person is, well, the fun part I'll leave up to you. But the big picture is this. This month's eclipses put Leo energy front and center for you in a big way. Here's an important nuance. The August 12th eclipse falls on the south node, meaning these bold, fiery Leo-type people are already painfully familiar to you. You know their quirks, their flair, their little cracks in the armor better than almost anyone. This isn't some big surprise for you. These bright, fiery, sometimes theatrically self-important people are basically old news by now. The real twist of this eclipse corridor is something else entirely. In this particular configuration, fire signs act more like donors, the ones supplying the resources, throwing the party, showing off their splendor. But here's the thing about eclipse corridors. The real energy and investment always flow toward the eclipse on the north node, the point of the future. Who does the future actually belong to? The August 12th Leo eclipse sits on the south node, meaning it represents whoever's footing the bill, whoever's at the peak of their power right now, but whose influence from here is more about investing outward than growing further. That's the fire signs. They're your backdrop, your context this month. But where does all that investment and opportunity actually flow? Toward the north node. And right now, the north node sits in an air sign. There's a north node eclipse coming on August 28th, occurring in Pisces, plus a full moon on July 27th in Aquarius that's already edging close to eclipse territory. The key point, The North Node is currently sitting in an air sign, which means the biggest beneficiaries of this eclipse are Aquarius first, likely Pisces too, but really, all air signs benefit. That includes Gemini and Libra right alongside Aquarius. So, dear Gemini, you could easily end up as one of the favorites this month. Picture it like this. Fire signs are the powerful, generous king of the month, and air signs are like the favorite nephew or grandchild, the one who gets showered with all the perks from grandpa in charge, simply because they're the golden child who can do no wrong. Powerful fire people always have a soft spot for someone, and more often than not, that favorite is an air sign, or sometimes a water sign. You, Gemini, could very easily slide into that role this month. On timing, July's Mercury retrograde slowdown is fully behind you by July 29th. Everything picks up speed fast from there, and that momentum carries through most of August. But the most intense, high-speed stretch of the month runs through August 10th, since Mercury is still in your own sign until then. You're basically operating at superhero speed, solving problems fast, moving fast, making decisions fast. Think of yourself as the quickest character in the room this stretch. After August 10th, Mars leaves your sign and things ease into a somewhat slower gear, not the heavy, stuck feeling from mid-July's retrograde, just a more normal, steady pace. So, fast and furious through the 10th, comfortably cruising for the rest of the month. That's the overall energy of August for Gemini. Cancer, what's coming up is possibly the single most important month of 2026, the eclipse corridor. Its influence may start as early as July 29th, running through August, with the first eclipse on August 12th and the second on August 28th. Eclipses always transform your way of life, pushing you to find your place, your team, your community. You'll clearly feel some environments pushing you out, while others pull you in like a vortex, full of heightened activity, new people, communities, and big goals forming around you. That bigger mission energy ties to the August 12th eclipse. And this is also when serious money-making directions get laid down. Think of it this way. June and July were about exploring new information and broadening your horizons. August is where the concrete gets poured, a solid foundation for settling into new circumstances. The entire second half of 2026 will run on what gets built and cemented right now. These are serious, long-term programs, not experiments. While June and July were surface-level exploration, August is about what you commit to and go all in on. Early August kicks off with Saturn playing a strong role, foundations, pouring concrete, agreeing to serious long-term commitments. It activates roughly from the 2nd to the 7th. Your goals become clear, your direction is set. Saturn is always a bit of a taskmaster, authoritative, sometimes heavy-handed, but it points you firmly toward your path. For Cancer, fire people play a huge role this month, potential leaders or sources of inspiration. This matters for your personal life too. The first half of August could plant the seeds of a serious, long-term partnership. Professionally, it may also bring a major partner or organization with real potential for progress. Partnerships and alliances are a calling card of this August, likely forming between the 3rd and 7th. The main event, the August 12th eclipse in Leo. This eclipse carries a distinctly Leo flavor. Think strong leaders. Maybe a bold, authoritative figure emerges in your organization who leads the way, or on a personal level, someone shows up who becomes the sun of your life, the person your personal world starts orbiting around. Pay close attention to this eclipse. It's a new moon/eclipse on the south node, so it symbolizes old strength, older or more established people, or an attraction to people who've already made it. This isn't about relationships where you're betting on future potential. It's about connecting with someone or something that already comes fully formed. Normally, there's a story of I shaped him into what he is, then fell for what I made. Here, it's almost the reverse. The person shows up already accomplished, already carrying status, recognition, and authority. So the first half of August, personally and professionally, is about connecting with people who are already at the top. No need to fix or develop them. They arrive at full strength, ready to go. Build something together, whether that's a project or a relationship, helping your love life along all month. Venus, the planet of love and pleasure, sits in one of its strongest placements, Libra, for nearly all of August. Venus in Libra loves aesthetics, loves romantic situations, savors good conversation and connection. So, romance this month brings a lot of pleasure, joy, and pleasant communication. Venus smooths over rough edges and brings that romantic glow. Combined with all the Leo energy in the air, you get a lot of passion, boldness, and vivid emotional and sexual expression. Beautiful, dignified, rich. August is an especially great month for weddings and big celebratory events, where that Leo show energy can bring in exactly the right people and partnerships, personal or professional. Second half of August has its own wrinkle. Roughly August 17th to 22nd, the Black Moon, Lilith, theme kicks in. Expect a tendency toward over-the-top, look-at-me behavior, people overdoing the drama and putting too much on display. This can stir up intrigue, so be careful around the 19th and 24th especially. Those dates lean hard into Black Moon energy full of provocation, drama, and digging into other people's business. The month wraps up with the August 28th eclipse in Pisces. Even though the eclipse axis has technically shifted to Aquarius Leo, this eclipse still falls in the old Pisces degree that dominated all of 2025, so it pulls you back into emotional, sensitive, deeply feeling territory. Adding to that, Mars, the planet of energy and passion, spends the whole second half of August in a water sign, and specifically in your own sign, Cancer. That means you'll be temperamental, passionate, emotional, deeply sensitive, and caring. This eclipse will really crank up the dial on feelings, care, and emotional intensity at the end of the month. The theme becomes, these are my people, my close family, my inner circle. I'm pouring my whole soul into them. With Mars moving through your own sign, that emotional and sensual potential gets maxed out for the second half of August. So, expect some striking, high-profile partnerships, plus a wave of emotional intensity toward month's end. Your personal life will feel like it's overflowing, and while all that emotion might tire some people out, you likely won't feel it that way, because Mars in your own sign gives you the sense that no matter how much emotion you release into the world, you always want more. The second half of August, especially the Pisces eclipse period, will be remembered as a time when you poured in every ounce of feeling, soul, and desire. And since this August 28th eclipse falls on the North Node, it marks the start of a new chapter of enthusiastic emotional growth that will keep unfolding in new ways over the coming years. That could relate to a child, a passion project, or hobby you throw your whole heart into, or work that's genuinely about caring for and connecting with people, not indifference. That's the emotional note this final eclipse of August strikes. Dear Leos, a huge opportunity opens up this August because the eclipse actually falls in your own sign. That's a signal of a fundamental shift. What you live for, who your people are, what projects and goals you measure your life by, and where things go from here. This is a genuine turning point month. A few key life-reshaping processes are happening at once. First, eclipses in general are about finding your people, finding your world, the environment that draws out your talents and qualities and puts you in a leadership role, or simply inspires you so much that life, circumstances, and people all start reflecting your core. Leo nature, being part of the pride, being someone in the spotlight, admired, popular, radiant on the pedestal. That's great for your social media, great for any project you're building. An eclipse is always about your environment, putting you center stage. We all have this sense of my people, my world, my reality. And this August, that concept gets revealed in an unmistakable way. You'll feel, I've found my place in life. I found the space that truly reflects what I want and what fires me up. Jupiter in your sign is a massive part of this. Jupiter entered Leo back on June 30th and had already gathered strength by late July, but August is when its light really shines, like sailors watching the clouds finally clear and seeing their guiding star again, suddenly understanding exactly where they're headed. Jupiter acts as that guiding star, lighting up your path. One of Jupiter's biggest gifts is how it pulls scattered pieces of life into unity. Things that felt random or disconnected, different people, situations, decisions, suddenly click into a bigger picture, like puzzle pieces finally fitting together. Day-to-day life often buries us in small, draining tasks that make us lose sight of the bigger why. Jupiter is exactly the planet that restores that sense of a coherent, meaningful path. Suddenly, you can see the larger design behind everything that's been happening. This matters enormously for Leo because you're a sign that rarely loses yourself. You already know who you are. What's new here is that your environment finally finds you too. There's a place in the world waiting for you where you can reign, create, and bring your projects and desires to life exactly as a Leo should. But the real key player this August is Saturn. Saturn currently sits in Aries, a fire sign you naturally get along with easily. Jupiter in Leo forms a strong aspect to Saturn in the second half of August, bringing a lot of Saturnian energy into your life, the concrete that turns dreams into solid foundations. Thanks to Saturn, your fantasies and inspirations won't just stay in your imagination. They'll start turning into real, responsible, long-term programs and structures. Saturn represents the ground beneath dreams, the practical, material follow-through that gives your visions actual weight and staying power. It's the planet of responsibility. What am I actually accountable for? What are my long-term goals? What can I commit to steadily over years instead of scattering my energy chasing every shiny distraction? So this August isn't just about the environment aligning to showcase your Leo qualities. It's also about grounding that in the real world, figuring out where your place actually is, and taking ownership of concrete programs, processes, and commitments. It's genuinely foundational, laying groundwork for a long-term realization of your goals. Jupiter and Saturn will keep working together through the fall, continuing to build these cycles. One of the biggest breakthroughs comes later, around November to December, when Mars, the planet of powerful drive, moves into your sign for 2 months. Everything you're structuring and laying the groundwork for now will go into full construction mode later in the fall, heading into winter. So, this month, go ahead and dream big, but also get concrete, practical, and grounded. Feel like part of this material world, not just sitting on a throne, but actually taking on serious, long-term programs, all while carrying that Leo status, surrounded by people and circumstances that reflect back your role as the lion. We'll see how it all comes together. I think Jupiter in Leo already gave you a taste of, I'm ready for a big, serious, grounded mission in the second half of July. And August is where it all pulls together. One more notable detail, the August 12th eclipse in Leo falls on the South Node. That means the mission now forming at the center of your life is actually something familiar. You've dealt with it before. It's returning almost like something pulled out of an old storage room, a direction you set aside long ago, dabbled in occasionally, but never fully committed to. This is a return to an old fire, an old calling, one that can reignite your Leo temperament, a flame that's already existed in your life, quietly warming some past mission or inspiration, and now it's finally time. It's an old dream, maybe from a past decade, maybe from 30 years ago, Given that the nodal cycle runs roughly 18 years, or 9, you may have first touched this direction 9 or 18 years back, a small ember back then that's now becoming a full, inspiring flame ready to be finally realized. For some of you, this could mean building a major brand. For others, it's a spiritual calling. For others still, it's about family, becoming the head of the household, surrounded by people who recognize you as their lion. Either way, we'll see how it unfolds. Dear Virgos, August is basically opening a Cinderella gate for you. A lot of rich, meaningful events lining up for your personal life, for genuinely enjoying the people around you and your closeness with someone special. For part of the month, Venus, the planet of love, moves through your own sign, but two bigger factors matter even more. First, the eclipse at month's end falls in Pisces, opening up a strong flow of feeling and emotion, a new door into vulnerability, openness, and love. Second, and this is the big one, Jupiter is gaining serious momentum in Leo right now, and it's connected to a prince on a white horse type of figure, or an incredible, magnetic person who enters your personal orbit. Much of August's story revolves around this bright figure represented by Jupiter in Leo, someone with real authority, high status, possibly almost royal energy, someone who makes your life shine in vivid new colors. Jupiter in Leo is wonderful for your love life, but it fully extends into your professional world too. It's about alliances, personal ones that bloom, but also professional ones, where you cross paths with well-known, high-profile people and form partnerships built around a genuine sense of mission and shared purpose. And this isn't just wishful thinking. Saturn is an aspect to Jupiter right now, and Saturn is what turns inspiration into material reality, responsibility, seriousness, staying power. Whatever Jupiter inspires this month, Saturn helps translate into long-term, grounded structures that last for years. On top of all this, we're in an eclipse corridor, and that amplifies everything by a factor of 2 or 3. Let me explain briefly why eclipse corridors matter so much. An eclipse corridor is about syncing large groups of people into one shared program, like passengers boarding the same ship, where one steers, another handles the sails, another swabs the deck, and from that point on, everyone's fate is tied together. An eclipse corridor is about finding your ship, finding the people your life is about to get woven into so you can set sail together. Saturn, Jupiter, and this eclipse corridor are literally syncing you with a piece of reality, weaving you into a shared arc, a shared voyage. Eclipse corridors often work by pushing you out of some places while pulling you firmly into others. One of the best strategies for this month: go to different places, notice different situations, and pay attention to where you can breathe easier, where you find your people. Look for the environment, the community, the organization, the crew that feels genuinely like home. We're used to thinking of ourselves as separate individuals, building our own path, but an eclipse is a collective force. My actions get amplified by the team, by the place I'm part of. I become an essential piece of something bigger, and the whole project, community, or circle breaks through simply because everyone's on the same ship. Eclipse effects are never about one person's isolated fate. They're about a shared arc where together people can move mountains. So, the key thing to watch for during this corridor: which ship are you actually part of? If it's not really yours, you'll likely feel pushed out. If it is yours, you'll feel pulled in. Sometimes it's worth just letting the current carry you toward the right people and circumstances rather than forcing things. We tend to see ourselves as separate, self-contained units, building our own careers, our own paths. But sometimes we're really just one finger on a hand, and the hand is doing something bigger than any single finger could do alone. This month can bring a real sense of belonging to something larger: a family, a company, a community, a city that starts to matter more than your narrow personal agenda. Side note, if you're curious, you can actually look up whether you yourself were born during an eclipse corridor. People born in these windows often end up less in control of their own path, pulled instead toward representing an organization, a city, or a cause bigger than themselves, often rising to high positions precisely because their life gets woven into a larger structure. If none of this eclipse talk resonates with you, if your own birth chart has no strong ties to the nodes, these themes may simply play a smaller role in your life. This is really for people whose path naturally involves being part of bigger ships and bigger crews rather than living in complete isolation from the world around them. Bottom line for Virgo this August, the focus is squarely on personal life and alliances, romantic and professional. Look for the people you feel genuinely aligned with, where you sense real inspiration behind the shared project, not just, I got assigned to this team, but real excitement about where it's heading. Jupiter is strong enough this month to cast a bright guiding light over that whole voyage, so it feels less like forced conscription and more like setting sail with real enthusiasm. 2 eclipses to watch specifically. August 28th, Pisces. Emotional closeness, a new level of vulnerability and openness, and deepening bonds with people who bring new color into your life. August 12th, Leo. Bright, prince-like, or high-status figures. People who lead and inspire you toward bigger horizons, possibly connected to management or administration. Key dates, August 11th and August 15th are the 2 most important days for Virgo this month. That's when your subconscious syncs up with these bigger missions, possibly through a dream around the 11th or through real people and circumstances crystallizing around the 15th, where you suddenly feel part of something much bigger than yourself. Pay close attention to those 2 dates. You've just seen Part 1, Aries through Virgo, of the August 2026 Eclipse Corridor. The journey continues in Part 2 with Libra through Pisces. Subscribe now so you don't miss the reveal.